Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Let's go.
All right, welcome to the Teach Different podcast. I am excited. And for anyone who's new to this production, really quick, the Teach Different method: quote, claim, counterclaim, essential question. We're going to agree with the quote. We're going to share experiences. We're going to disagree with the quote a little bit, share some experiences, let a natural conversation flow, and then hopefully we can come up with some really thought-provoking questions at the end. And this is how we roll. So here's the quote we got from Max De Pree is the guy's name. Now I was looking this guy up real quick. He was a business leader in America in like the 70s and 80s. He wrote some books and he got a really good reputation for being a really good leader within a business. He had a lot of people that like looked up to him. And I looked into one of the businesses he ran was a business called Herman Miller, which actually makes office furniture. And I went like this and looked. I'm sitting in a Herman Miller chair. And it's just like, that's a coincidence, but this guy was really impressive on a lot of different levels. And he obviously came up with a thought-provoking quote. So here we go. All right. We cannot become what we want by remaining what we are. We cannot become what we want by remaining what we are. Tree, what do you think? And introduce yourself.
What up, Teach Different podcast, man? It's your boy Tree. I'm an artist. I'm an activist, social change advocate, youth advocate, gun violence advocate from Chicago. I'm also an artist. And can you say the quote one more time?
Yeah, but before I do that, what kind of artist?
Hip hop.
Do you rap?
Hip hop. Yeah.
Okay, so we got something we can talk about after this podcast. All right, here's the quote. We cannot become what we want by remaining what we are.
Cool. So first thing I think about is how I feel like a caterpillar always wanted to fly. That's why it becomes the butterfly. So you even if you don't even know your destiny, I feel like life is always pulling you towards your destiny. So on that path, it's gonna be like Driver said, it's gonna be levels that you have to outgrow. It's gonna be things you have to outgrow. It's gonna be phases that you're gonna have to go through. And then once you begin to especially because a lot of us don't know our purpose. And we don't even know that we're moving towards that one way or another. But once you actually can see it, see your purpose and see it clear what you want to do out of life, and you start to try to obtain that, that's when you realize that, yeah, it's a lot of adjustments I have to make. It's a lot of growing I have to do. And it's worth it. Like another simple form of it is exercise. It's like, okay, I'm this amount of pounds. I want to look this way. I got to stop eating those burgers at night. I gotta hit the gym. It's like it's not really that hard to grasp. It's like, sadly, that's the way our universe is created. It's set up like you're not about to really get nothing you want without some type of effort, without some type of alchemical changing of something to something else. Like diamonds. Diamonds start off as coal, but then under all that pressure, they become diamonds. The atmospheric pressure around the coal had to change it for it to become the diamond. So it's like everywhere you look out into like Jarvis said, everywhere you look out into Mother Nature, we see this. We see that a shedding has to happen for growth.
I love
So
the nature examples. That's really good. Like let me put this out there. Does anybody have anything in their mind right now about yourself or even someone that you know really well that is undergoing a transformation or did undergo one, or some realization that hit you where you get to a point and you look back and you're like, okay, that's what I used to be. Now I'm this, and it's seismic. It's just a transformation. Anything coming to mind?
Myself being a gun violence survivor, I was paralyzed at 18 years old. The person I was before being paralyzed was a drastic, completely different person. I want to say 4 or 5 days after waking up in the hospital, having to accept my new reality. And with that, I had to shed my old self, my old concept of self, my old concept of what's cool, all this stuff, because I actually had formed a negative view of myself that was detrimental to my livelihood, and that was fueling my depression, because I only saw myself as a broken human being because my legs didn't work. So it made me depressed and all these different things. And I had to just shed that concept. I had to shed that identity. I had to find a new identity. That's when I realized that half of us don't even really know ourselves. Like, hey, we could. That's another topic, though. I don't even want to go there. But yeah, half of us don't even really know ourselves to even know that we even need to grow out of things. And it sadly takes for a lot of traumatic stuff to happen to certain people for them to even get in the space of realizing that, oh, hold on, I don't even know who I am. Because a part of my identity was attached to this thing that has now traumatically been taken from me. Whether it's friendships, relationships, whether it's jobs. Some people put their whole identity in their job and lose their job, and now it's like, who am I? If I'm not a fireman? It's like, grow out of that. At the same thing, the comfortability of what you're used to, and find that there's more to you, and to find that once we get out of the comfortability of what's familiar, we find that we are limitless beings. Like, we can do and be whatever we want.
That's right. Hey, Tree, when you are you still paralyzed?
Yeah,
And it's been how long since that happened?
been 13 years.
So when you look out at people, do you see that a lot? You look at people and you're just thinking, you have no idea like who you are. You know, you're
Man,
kind of green. You feel like you've got all
man.
these problems and you're complaining, but you're not facing yourself. Like you don't really know what's important. I'm just trying to think of the reality that you're in right now and how you view other people.
Yeah, I wouldn't say sad, but it's I don't really know how to explain it. It's like comforting yet peaceful yet kind of sad at times, because it's like, by me knowing these things, I can't be affected by someone trying to quote unquote mistreat me or wrong me, because I understand them to a level where they don't even understand themselves. I understand that your action of mistreating me or verbally saying something negative to me or whatever is more than likely stemming from a root of something you got inside of you. So I look at life at people not from a I'm above any one type of space, but just my awareness is above. And that's due to the grace of God putting me in a position to be able to see things like that. But yeah, it's definitely but there are people that think this way and have this awareness as well, but just the majority of the world now, the masses, we kind of sleepwalking out here. And yeah, just seeing people, I'm also be feeling sorry,
Are
to
you
be
are you
honest.
trying to wake people?
I was, I was.
But now are you feeling
Now
like
it's like, it's more, now I feel like it could just happen organically. And I'll just be like, like a lighthouse. I'll just be a beacon of light. If you see it, see it. If you don't, you'll find your own light. But I feel like when I was trying to wake people up, I was kind of like forcing it. and that's not a good thing to do on people, to like push your idealisms and your views just onto people, to let them see it in their own time.
But yeah, yeah. Well, look, let's flip the script. The conversation is heating. Okay. This is the one, this is the part where we're going to kind of think about the other way to look at this and maybe disagree with this a little bit. So I'm going to read it again, and then we're going to come from a different angle. We cannot become what we want by remaining what we are. We cannot become what we want by remaining what we are. Why is that not necessarily true?
I'm gonna stand 10 toes with the disagreeing, because I'm gonna say it like this: what if you can argue that, some people believe that everything is mind, right? Some like metaphysics or what, something like that, quantum physics. A lot of these scientific things are telling us that our reality is the mind, literally. So if that being the case, um, how do I have to change who I am if all I have to do is change how I think? And it's not really necessarily a change of me, but more so a change of my belief in what I'm doing. Because it says, like, I have to change who I am to get what I want, correct? Or something
We
like that?
cannot become what we want by remaining what we are.
Right. What if what I want, I already have? And the idea
There
of
you
me
go.
wanting it is an illusion.
There you go. Okay, can I pick that up? Do you know anyone who is cool? They're a good person. Even go think back when we were all younger. Someone who, like, maybe was your friend in middle school or high school, and they ended up turning into something that was kind of not authentic. They had a realness to them. They were an authentic person, but they got caught up in thinking that maybe they want to go and make all this money, or maybe they want to go and get all these clothes and try to be the person on the block that everybody's looking at, or they're like out of their self. They're trying to change. They're trying to like be something different. They're trying to shed skin, but you want to stop them and go, dude, you're cool. Just chill. Why are you trying to be something different? You're already a diamond. Am I
Mm-hmm.
am I catching what you were saying, Tree, a little?
Yeah, like how a person can change to their detriment. Change ain't always good.
There you go.
Change isn't always
There you
good. That's
go.
what I'm saying. Life tends to have this flip floppy duality to it. Like, one thing, on one hand, something can be good, but on the other hand, that same thing cannot be good. So change can be good if you're changing for the better. But if you're like, for instance, I got an example. I'm gonna use an example of real life. I'm just gonna not use names because this is a real story. But a friend of mine, brother, moved from out of town back to Chicago, and basically joined street stuff. Start doing street things and getting into street gang activities type of situations, and start disrespecting a deceased person that he had no knowledge of knowing. But it was him trying to come to the city and become like his brothers. He changed, and now he's in an uncomfortable situation because it's like, do I stay the game playing, game streaming gamer from the suburbs that I am, or do I mold now and become this tough gangster street kid who disses people on the internet? And he had an uncomfortable decision to make, and sadly, he chose to become the chameleon of the into the negative energy, which cost him his life. And now you, the person that gets their life taken, the person that was the most furthest from this real beef at all, and you just put yourself in it and changed and molded yourself to fit what these people were doing, just for it to inevitably lead to your demise. So no, change actually can be bad. Like, if you change for the wrong reasons, and if you shed good things and pick up negative things, destruction is coming your way, gang. Like, nothing else.
Okay, you made me think of this here. You remember this method, Tree? This is your first, I think, chance to do it full-fledged, right? Quote, claim, counterclaim. We're doing the counterclaim right now, right? Essential question is the last part. What you just said, Tree, made me start asking questions in my head. And here's one I came up with. How do we know if the change we're going through is good for us?
One way. I got one way. I don't know, this might not be every way, but here's one way. One way to know that the change that you're experiencing is good for you is if the change isn't harming anyone. If this change within you doesn't bring anyone else harm, then you good. But if this change has you now disrespecting your mom or disrespecting people, like doing things that you normally didn't do and causing harm to others,
Would you
then
include
yeah.
harm to yourself? Like, think of someone getting caught up in
Yeah.
drugs. Like, if you know you're getting hurt, you're hurting yourself. You might not be hurting other people, but that's another sign, correct? Yes?
Yeah. Yeah. Harm to you and harm to others. If it's causing harm to you or harm to others, that's a sign that this isn't a good change.
That's straightforward. No, I appreciate this. And this has been good, fellas. You know, I really enjoyed this. Wonderful surprise, Paris. I mean,
Yeah, likewise.
this is great.
I'm honored. I don't know what happened last time when he was telling me that was going on last time. I think I missed it, or I don't know what was going on. But this is amazing,
Yeah.
man, and I would love to come in more often and build.
Absolutely.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day.